Welcome to the Detroit Grand Prix here on Fox.
Live from the Motor City, drivers, start your engines!
Command has been given. Command.
We wait for the green flag. It's looking tidy. It's looking like we should get a green. We do get the green, and we go racing, and look at Kirkwood immediately up to the inside of David Malukas and running down into the tight hairpin at 3, but here comes the McLaren of Lundgaard up, locks the brakes, looks to take the lead, can Herta take it back? It's a wonderful start from Lundgaard, who I think has just dropped back from Herta.
2 wide, 3 wide through the back. That's Palou trying to go on the inside of Kirkwood, now banging wheels down the hill to turn 4, and your championship leader gets the move done.
Boy, Kyle Kirkwood, a favorite, got muscled big time. Once by Malukas on the start and then by Alex Palou. Puts you back, all the way back. So everybody balancing the tightrope.
As Kirkwood up on the inside of Palou, that's for 3rd place. A lovely move from Kyle Kirkwood on the championship leader.
James, I'll bet he felt I've got to pay him back for muscling me around. Brilliant stuff from Kirkwood, late on the brakes.
Just hit the wall and had it taken away from him. This is Palou up the inside. Very tough to get 2 cars through there. A little bit of an elbow from Alex Palou. Just a gentle nudge as behind and above in the screen on the top of your picture, Kirkwood has got past Lundgaard.
This is a replay full screen again on board with Kyle Kirkwood when Palou muscled him out of his way, but great stuff as you see another look at his move coming back on Palou. But great stuff to get around Christian Lundgaard early. Now it is Andretti 1-2 up front.
Felix Rosenqvist has been into the pits to get off the soft tires. Rinus VeeKay, we thought it was just a tire issue for him. Saw him drop 3-4 positions. But he's in pit lane, team taking a look at the car as we take a look here. That is Marcus Armstrong sliding past. Christian Rasmussen gets through at the same time, takes a little bit of a hit on the left front.
I don't even know if there was contact there. That was awfully close, but I'm not sure they touched. I think VeeKay just made the adjustment in time. We brought on board with Graham Rahal, who has no issue firing up the inside of turn 4 on VeeKay.
David Malukas comes in, Jack.
He's actually already done his stop wheel. He's heading back out onto the track. I spoke to Larry earlier today. He was really happy. He thinks that David has been doing a fantastic job, and so far this race, you have to say he has been.
Well, and this is now key because he was part of that top 5, top 6 battle. If he's come in already, when do one of these drivers who were in the mix with him decide to come in as well?
Well, as the Dale Coyne Racing driver, Rinus VeeKay had to go to pit lane for some kind of issue. Let's see if we can learn on the radio.
I have no power on the back stretch. Copy, copy. Something's wrong. No power. Visual clue. Block 3 and all. Something keeps broken on the back.
So frustrating for VeeKay.
Lundgaard's jumped in. Christian Lundgaard is in, Jack.
Actually, I think this was a little bit early in what they originally were shooting for. Lap 20 was what I was told they were going to. Maybe those tires were burning off. They're going on the harder, brand new tires. This is going to be a long stint now for Christian.
Will Herta stop now? What about Kirkwood, Palou, McLaughlin? All these guys around about each other. This will tell us a lot as they come through to the end of the lap, and Kirkwood does jump now.
Split strategies potentially there. Kyle Kirkwood coming to you, Georgia.
Absolutely, and this is so interesting. They are going to put scuffed hard tires on the front of this race car and brand new hard tires on the back of it. They build it up with fuel, and he's out and away.
And those tires were toast when they came off.
I've never seen anything like this. This is so clever from the Andretti Global Group. They scuffed the front tires on Kirkwood's set of new hards in warm-up, it looks like, to try to help with that outlap performance.
Herta is first in onto his marks, and just ahead, Alex Palou also comes in. Herta easily wins this race off pit lane.
And that's big, because the biggest issue for Colton Herta this year has been poor pit stops. Where does Herta get out, though, in relation to his teammate? We keep our eyes on here. That is Herta. And Herta, I believe, should be ahead of the pack.
There he is on board here with Colton Herta, and I think that Kyle Kirkwood is just behind him. That's right, so Nolan Siegel just behind Herta.
Siegel.
And then Kirkwood. So Herta has a little bit of breathing room on this strategy.
Oh, but Siegel is looking to get straight past Colton Herta. Don't forget they are racing for position. And now has a little look and gives him a little nudge, and Kirkwood will take full advantage of that.
Advantage Kyle Kirkwood. Nolan Siegel elbows out, getting around the 26. Big move for the driver of the 6 from McLaren to get around Herta. And that opened the door for Kirkwood, who's now in the catbird seat.
Alex Palou and David Malukas also racing back there on cold tires. They're side by side. Palou to the inside.
And Malukas pitted earlier. Will have more heat in those tires. Oh, and we've got a spinner at the back. I think that's Rosenqvist.
One of the Meyer Shank machines in the wall at turn 8. We saw Lundgaard making that move on Herta in 8. Wasn't able to make it stick as the full course caution waves for the MSR machine. That's the 66 of Marcus Armstrong down in turn 8.
Ultimately for position. There the fight between Herta and Lundgaard. And behind we keep an eye, and he just spins it of his own volition. And you know what? Having stopped early, Rosenqvist was getting himself into the fight with that top 5-6 battle. So this will be the first restart that we've seen through 8 and 9. Rasmussen takes them back to green. Single file through the final corner and on the run down into 1. Turn 1, incredibly tight, incredibly treacherous. Does anyone dare have a look up the inside of turn 1?
Bit of a lock up there for Rasmussen, but he gathered it back up. As we see a car around.
That's Siegel.
That's Siegel. Was he hit maybe?
Well, he was just in front of Kyle Kirkwood.
And now at the back of the field for Nolan Siegel.
Take a look at what happened to Nolan Siegel. McLaughlin will certainly get a drive-through penalty.
Fortunate development there for Nolan as we see Foster
Louis
now
Foster
down the inside of Ericsson, making that move stick into turn 1 and then defending. Ericsson trying to do the over-under. Foster having none of it as we see a loose tire.
I think that's Devs.
That must be from the number 30. Full course caution.
And as we sit under caution, while we were at break, yeah, that is the right rear off Dev's car. Undone.
Rahal looks to make it happen here as the green flag is out.
Rahal tries to get the power down coming out of the final corner. His teammate Louis Foster having a look as Rasmussen with a big lock up, but keeps it all under control, keeps it in perspective, keeps the lead of the field. Single file through turn 1. Everybody seemingly making it through cleanly as Lundgaard is all over the back of the championship leader.
In defense as well. Foster a little wide there.
Oh, as Simpson has a look up the inside of Stingray. Rob dispatches the Hunkos driver who looks to come back as Joseph Newgarden getting in on the mix as well, and now Kirkwood making up positions, and Herta on Palou through and on the inside. That looked pretty easy for Colton Herta. Double contact for the Thirsty Threes. This then on board with Colton Herta. Oh, and it was a bit of contact, quite a bit of contact with Will Power.
Oh, so it was Palou capitalizing.
The middle and then long to finish.
Oh, and Palou having a look around the outside of Santino Ferrucci. Ferrucci will not give up the position, and that will allow Christian Lundgaard to have a look as well. Palou and Lundgaard, who had such a fantastic battle earlier this season at Thermal. This a very different type of circuit as Lundgaard looks one way and then the other. There is nowhere to pass here on this tight and narrow circuit. Where does Foster come out? There's Palou, there's Malukas. Foster will hope to come out around Rasmussen, who's right about there. He does come out now. He'll be behind Eilert and O'Ward.
But he's on those soft tires, so here we are, lap 38. It's going to be awfully tough to hold on to the soft green compound long enough to just make it on one more stop. But Christian Rasmussen also on the soft tire.
Simpson will come out of pit lane. Will siphon in just behind Rossi and Stingray Rob alongside Stingray Rob. These two have been duking it out all afternoon.
And even with massive fuel save as Stingray easily clears the number 8 of Kiffin Simpson, he still wasn't able to do what Dixon, to say just do what Dixon does, T-Bell. That's a really easy thing to say. That's a really difficult thing to do.
All going to plan for Scott Dixon, and this is going to be his soft stint. So how long can he make those last? 2 stops seems like it's going to be very difficult to be able to get done, but Scott Dixon starting 16th is very much in play in this race.
100% renewable Shell fuel on board the number 9 PNC Bank Honda. Out he gets back on track, siphoning out with Armstrong. You know what? It lasted 6 laps for them. Oh, it's up around the outside comes Marcus Ericsson having a look at Scott Dixon.
Meanwhile, behind them, Scott McLaughlin and Alex Rossi side by side through turn 3.
All may not be well as he rolled down the back straight on the run down to 3. A piece seemingly flying off his diffuser, being collected by Will Power, and then Colton Herta biffing it off into the wall.
His Power's on board now. He would have seen it a little bit too late to react if he saw it at all.
Yeah, but lucky to take it under the bottom of the car, dead center, as opposed to cutting down a tire or potentially damaging the front wing. More important.
We say it time and time again, little lock up there, going way wide.
Oh,
into the wall.
Cold tires. Rasmussen told to give it everything, and on those cold tires, the slip and the slide and into the wall, but he keeps it going.
From your pit stand, as we take another look, that the tire pressures are still okay. The risk here is breaking a steering arm or a rear toe link.
Newgarden was right behind him on track. You see him there. His on board, he catches the contact, easily goes by.
Will Power is coming in from second, and Alex Palou, who won the Indianapolis 500 last week, right behind him. Palou has a more difficult entrance. He has to go around the 12 pit crew. They have the preferred spot, an easy exit. Power is going to win this race off pit road. They still have one more stop.
So here's the play, guys. It's 50 laps to go. You can't make that on fuel. This is a 3-stop race.
Unless they get caution, that's what they'll be banking on, as Alex Palou is down and away.
Kyle Kirkwood, a street course ace. All three of his wins come on it. They're going to do the same strategy. The scuff fronts with the brand new rear seats on the primary tires. Kevin.
Colton Herta started on pole today to try to see if he can get something done. They just need a clean day. It's always been an issue. Something on Sunday. Saturdays have been great. Trying to bring it home on Sunday. He trails Kirkwood back out.
So where is Will Power? There comes Kyle Kirkwood. Here's Will Power. Colton Herta beat by Power there to turn one, and now Herta has to fight through those cold tires. Kyle Kirkwood, you're just going to stay as the caution's out.
Callum Ilott in the prem up in the wall. That's a big incident. I think he's taken something on the left-hand side. That wheel has gone. It looks like the wheel might even have fallen off. That's clean.
That is what it looks like, because there doesn't appear to be any damage to the left front, but there's just no tire on it. They will cycle up to the front as we watch the leaders now dive into pit lane.
All on pit lane. Georgia on pit lane.
They assured Kyle Kirkwood on the radio that this stop is in their window. They're going to put a fresh set of Firestone hard tires on it, and this is going to take them to the end. Kevin.
Cambridge team nail a final stop. They have not had a podium this season. That's a really good stop for the 26, but Kyle Kirkwood is going to win the race off pit road, and Power is just barely in front of Colton Herta.
As they all funnel through pit exit, it's pretty much the order in which they came in.
But, James, as you pointed out, Ferrucci, Simpson, and Armstrong should all be good to go to the end. So even though Kirkwood and Power might be faster, they will have to earn it on the racetrack and pass their way to a podium finish today. Huge opportunity for the top three drivers.
Around for Santino Ferrucci, who leads from Kiffin Simpson and Marcus Armstrong. Big lock up from Armstrong, and Kirkwood will try to have a look, but it's only ever going to be single file.
Palou!
Palou is in the barrier at one, and that will be another caution for sure. The championship leader is in the barriers, trying to get himself into reverse, trying to get himself out, but Alex Palou,
can he use that hybrid system to restart it and reverse it?
Crew Chief Ricky Davis looks on.
The 500 curse continues, guys.
And the perfect season is over.
Well, in terms of getting podiums,
yeah,
that's it.
He's asking for the push back. We're just getting the tail end of it.
Oh, he got hit by Malukas.
Did he get into him?
Like 100%.
Well, we didn't see the start of it, but we have to assume maybe that's what happened. Yep.
Oh.
There goes Malukas' day, because race control will almost certainly rule that.
The historic run is over. Alex Palou is out of the Detroit Grand Prix, the number 10 taken away from the track by the AMR safety crew. And this is, well, recent history. The last 10 winners of the Indianapolis 500. Their next result, the best, Takuma Sato, a P2. For everybody else, nothing really to write home about. And for Alex Palou, the worst one, DNF. Armstrong has been caught napping. That will give Kirkwood a good run on him down into turn one. Big lock up from Ferrucci on the front right. Holds it through, and that's all under control.
Great job from Santino releasing the brake pedal to keep that right front rolling. As further back, everybody looking to seize on the opportunity of a restart onto this long back straightaway as Kyle Kirkwood, I think, will have a run on Armstrong. He does. They're side by side.
Remember, no push to pass, but he's got the inside and preferred line. That's going to be so crucial to put a car in between him and Will Power.
Armstrong was just squirming around under the application of power
of Kiffin Simpson. He is hungry to get that move done. As behind him, Herta goes around Armstrong.
These are the two fastest cars of the weekend, Herta and Kirkwood for Andretti Global.
And is this the difference between used tires and new tires? We take a look at Kirkwood now putting the move on Kiffin Simpson. It will have to be around the outside. Simpson will have the, there's contact between the two of them.
Does that cut down the left rear of Kyle Kirkwood? So far it looks okay, but that was...
His wing is damaged, guys.
That was really sketchy at those speeds. Yes, I see the damage. Oh, it looks like he had a banner or something hanging off it, perhaps.
Riding on board with him. Oh, he just timed it wrong.
Yep.
Just timed it completely wrong.
Sloppy mistake, but it doesn't seem to be slowing him down. As you look in the live box in the top left of your screen, he is right now on the gearbox of Santino Ferrucci.
Great exit for Kirkwood on Santino Ferrucci on the run down to 3. Tries to do the same move that he put on Simpson just one lap ago. This time it's cleaner, but look at the front wing. It's dragging along the floor as Santino Ferrucci tries to get the position back. Kirkwood takes the lead, but that car is damaged.
At top speed, it puts max downforce into that front wing and forces it to drag.
Sumptuous move by Kyle Kirkwood to take the lead of the Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix.
Podium on a non-oval 10 years ago in Detroit as Power has a run.
Power around the outside of Santino Ferrucci. The pace advantage evident. Look at the brake dust kicking out of the number 12.
17 laps.
Oh, that's big.
Rosenquist, the number 60 car.
I think another car's involved maybe. That's down in turn 3. I think the 45 maybe of Louis Foster I'm seeing on the screen.
Oh,
see the AMAR safety team sprinting to the aid of Louis Foster and Rosenquist.
Made it all the way down to the tires, T-Bell. That's you got to be carrying a lot of speed to make it all the way there. He didn't scrub much off.
But all on his own here.
What happened? Oh no, the right front
suspension failure. Oh!
Oh no.
What an uncharacteristic sort of situation there. It was so bizarre. The 45, that right front just collapsed.
I hate to say it, I haven't seen a right front suspension failure, James, since it happened to you at the Speedway.
And that is an immense hit into the back of the 60, and then Rosenquist sideways into the tires.
And no way that Rosenquist would have seen that coming.
No, it's a heck of a shock when you're just turning in.
Oh. Great to see Louis Foster walking away. Great to see Felix Rosenquist out of the car. Nothing that either of them could do. The green flag, we're back to racing ways, and Kirkwood's had a fantastic jump on Power as Herta has a look at Ferrucci.
We've heard about how that Honda power plant has great power delivery, and that's what you need on cold tires and a bumpy street circuit. And just look at that gap that Kirkwood was able to pull out after just 2 corners. Everybody well behaved behind as they're in lockstep now into turn 3. Again, no push to pass on this lap. You're all doing this just off the draft from the car in front if anybody tries to make a move. Now down into turn 3. Does Ferrucci have enough on Power? He's going for it.
Up the inside, Santino Ferrucci. That is magnificent from the AJ Foyt driver as Herta now round the outside of Power, who defends and holds off the Andretti attack.
Power lunges it back into the apex and looks to defend on Herta, as now Herta is getting frustrated and anxious to get by because his teammate Kyle Kirkwood is disappearing off in the lead.
And Santino Ferrucci is disappearing from Will Power.
He's finished 3rd before on an oval as Herta now goes on Power.
Up the inside at 8. That's lovely, and a very difficult place to pass. Power, I wonder if he took damage from that right rear nudge into the wall, but taste it. He knows it's there. As Colton Herta right ahead of it moves out and will have to go around the outside into braking. Down at 3. Can Power put the move on? A big lockup from Colton Herta, who will have the inside, and that will be to his benefit. Power will have to try again. Not over, not by a long shot in the fight for the podium places. Power and Herta over 3rd, and look at the exit for Will Power now. He needs a good exit. He has a little slide. He will have to use his push to pass. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Draining it on the straight. Will Power will have a look at Colton Herta, who will keep it on the inside. Braid as lake as he dares, and Power finds no way through. Herta's defense is staunch.
It's so hard to pick your breaking point from Colton Herta's position on the inside. You know that Will's behind with that push to pass, but a great job from the driver of the 26.
The last All-American top 3 in IndyCar was back in the year 2020. We're going to have one here today. But what about this man? Kyle Kirkwood is the king of the streets.
Checkered flag, winner, winner. Let's go, boys. Thank you, thank you. Awesome strategy, awesome pit stop. Man, we had to work for that one.
He didn't win just because Palou retired. He took this thing by the horns and won it all by himself.